All right, now we're going to talk about hydrogen water, which is what IZUMIO is. There are articles appearing in the Japanese press about hydrogen water. Hydrogen is part of the makeup of the human body. So this is oxygen and carbon dioxide and hydrogen. And our DNA are joined by a hydrogen bond. The hydrogen is a very important part of the human body. Now, we will see a term called reducing and reduction when we talk about hydrogen water. What is reduction in this case? It's the ability to remove oxygen. So we're saying, how large is the ability of the hydrogen in this product to remove oxygen? Special features of hydrogen: it's the smallest atom, the ability to cross the blood-brain barrier. I talked before about how superlutein forms a barrier around your cells. Forms a barrier, but this product cannot enter your blood-brain, cannot enter your brain for some reason. Hydrogen can. Hydrogen can go in and repair damage that is caused in your brain. It also goes through the cell membrane and reaches to the core DNA of the cell. So, active oxygen often breaks these bonds. But when we drink active hydrogen, these bonds get restored. So a cell that has been damaged and destroyed and killed comes back to life. So this isn't anti-aging anymore, it's reverse aging. Cells that have once stopped are back to life. So it's not anti-aging, it's going back. Okay, how many of you have heard about miracle water? Have you all heard about miracle waters? Okay. You have heard about miracle waters?
In France, Lourdes.
This one? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Lourdes. Yeah. Okay. Well, apparently there's 5 major towns, places in the world where miracle water comes out. And we'll begin with the miracle water in Tlacote, Mexico. And this just talks to the improvements in medical conditions as a result of drinking the water of Tlacote. But this gentleman, he was stung by a scorpion, but he could start speaking normally after drinking the water. This lady had cancer of the uterus, but after drinking the water, the X-ray showed that the shadow of cancer had disappeared. Stomach cancer, he was told that he could be saved, but the cancer disappeared in 2 years. Miracle water, okay. So, also, nerve injury. I'm sorry, this should be Nordenau, Germany. But in Nordenau, Germany, this gentleman had a nerve injury. And he had to use a cane and could only walk for 100 meters. And in half a year, he could walk without using the cane. And she had ringing in her ears, and that disappeared after drinking this water. Coming back to Tlacote in Mexico, you guys all remember Magic Johnson, right? Magic Johnson had HIV, and he went to Tlacote to drink the water. And today, he is said to be free of the disease. So that's quite interesting. Okay. Now, what is Hita? What is that? A town or a prefecture? Hita. Is it a town or is it a prefecture? What is it? It's a town. It's a town. It's a town. Okay. So, so this talks about the effectualness of the 10-ryo water from Shita. For atopic inflammation of the skin, symptoms disappeared completely for this girl, and she started drinking it from the age of 3. And this gentleman had diabetes, and his blood sugar level would be at 300 on an empty stomach, but 120 to 130 after drinking the water. And breast cancer. Now, this is a stunning chart. The improvements to one's medical condition by the water of Tlacote. This doesn't mean that 100% of AIDS cases were cured. What it means is that in 100% of the instances, the person's symptoms were improving. I mean, the symptoms were disappearing. AIDS, 100%, and so on. So these figures reflect that the patient actually had to say that he was experiencing recovery. And the doctor's examination had to show that he was definitely on the way to recovery. And based on these being the case, we've got those figures. PPT stands for part per thousand. And Japanese researchers took samples of the water from these 4 regions, and they found that the water contained active hydrogen. In Lourdes, the water contained up to 550 parts per thousand of active hydrogen, and so on. So what about this? What about IZUMIO? How much does this have? It's got 3,006 times the amount of hydrogen that is in the Lady of Lourdes water. 3,600 times. So you have to either drink one of these or drink 3,000 drum cans full of water to get the same amount of hydrogen. And this contains 2 million parts per thousand of hydrogen content. And this product also was recently upgraded to increase the amount of hydrogen contained. So how does one go about choosing the hydrogen supplement? Well, first of all, the initial factor is how much deoxidation takes place with this hydrogen water. How much hydrogen is contained? Is the product safe? Does the hydrogen disappear a week after you buy it in the store? Or does it stay? And does it have quality production processes? Well, IZUMIO has built a factory in Tochigi. This is their latest factory. And there are all these very special production processes by which it is made. Okay, we talked before about deoxidation levels. Rainwater contains 800 millivolts. Its oxidation strength is 800 millivolts. And tap water, 600 millivolts. And mineral water, 200 millivolts. All these waters cause oxidation. So what that means is, if you take a cup of rainwater and you put in a nail, it's going to go rusty. Right? It's going to go rusty. So, because it causes oxidation. So, what that means is that this, if you put something in here, it's going to deoxidize it. So what is the deoxidation level? For IZUMIO, it's minus 700 millivolts. So when you drink IZUMIO and that water enters into your body, it will deoxidize your body up to that level. And this is just talking about tap water. If you put a goldfish in a bowl of tap water, it's only going to live a couple hours. And nothing to laugh about. And this says, not all the mineral waters are good. Some mineral waters like these, they've been found to be worse than tap water. So just because it's called mineral water doesn't mean that it's healthy. This is something we talked about before. This is mineral water, and this is tap water, and this is IZUMIO. And this is what happens 1 week after you put paper clips into the water. As you can see, there's been no change because this water is deoxidizing. So. Okay, these are pictures taken at Our Lady of Lourdes. The first picture was a woman who was being bathed in the water at Our Lady of Lourdes. And this is the woman who apparently saw a vision of Mary, and Mary told her to dig in this spot. And she dug, and the water came out. This is the woman. And she was buried. And what, 200 years later?
Yeah.
200 years later, her body, they dug up her body, and her body was perfectly preserved. And this is a woman who died more than 200 years ago. Nobody really understands why. But her body is at Lourdes today. And she's in the casket today. So she died of a disease. So unfortunately, she wasn't meant to get better. She herself. Yeah. All right, so millions of people are going to Lourdes every year to make a pilgrimage, but to drink the water. So actually, people who have diseases, they can book a hotel for a month in Lourdes, book a month. They can go to Our Lady of Lourdes every day, drink the water, take a bath, and try to get better. Or they can stay at home and just drink this. You know, if you're really rich and you're doing okay, then maybe you can go to Lourdes. Okay, these are just pictures of a woman who bathed her face with IZUMIO. And this is a friend of Yuko-san in the back who had a birthmark that disappeared after coating it with IZUMIO every day. This is a child with atopy. And this is after washing the face and coating the face with IZUMIO for some period of time. So.